Hey, what's going on, everybody? How's everyone doing tonight? Thanks everyone for showing up. I think today should be pretty fun. I'd like to get into some automation with Ansible, which is something that I absolutely love. And I think we're going to go through and set up our Splunk server today as well, so we can get some log aggregation going. I think the goal is to set up the Splunk server manually, and then we'll go through and I'd like to put Sysmon and the Splunk Universal folder on all of our Windows machines. That way we can really start purple teaming the lab and getting some logs flowing into one central source so we can analyze them a lot easier. But before we get started into that, I definitely want to give a huge shout out to Meredith Microbial if you're watching. Thank you for your recent Patreon support. I really appreciate that. So thank you. Now let's see. Let me pull up my ESXi server. We'll get that up here. So right now, I created a server for us to use for Splunk, which is just a bare Ubuntu server. It's just Ubuntu 2004. And then I also made this like Ubuntu 2004 server that's separate with a graphical installation on it, so we can set up Ansible and run Ansible from that. I think it'll be a lot easier with the GUI from there. So yeah, so that should be all good. Now, initially, I just want to go through and set Splunk up. So let's see. We've got our Ubuntu 2004 machine up here, and I fixed a lot of the resolution stuff, so we're not going to have to worry about these small windows anymore. So I already have downloaded the binary to set Splunk up. I think if we go into downloads, we should have we have the deb package for a Splunk server in here. So let's just see what the IP address of the actual Splunk server is, and we'll go ahead and copy that deb package on there and get everything set up. So let's see. We've got 192.168.9.214. So the first thing we need to do is just copy that over. So let's just do scp this deb package. Let's see, Splunk 813 is what we're going to be running. Perfect. I think that's just the most recent version of Splunk server that they have up there. And then we'll just copy this over to conda at 192.168.9. Oh, geez, I already forgot what it was. I think it was 217. Let's see. 214. All right. So .214. Awesome. Cool. So that should be over there. So let's just go ahead and SSH in to that server. Let's see, .9.214, and hopefully we should have our, oh, do we not have SSH running on there? Let's double check that. So I'll do sudo service open SSH server status. I think I installed an SSH server on here, but I guess not. We'll just install that real quick. So we'll do sudo apt install open SSH-server. Actually, you know what? I think it's just called SSHD. Maybe that's the problem. If I could spell open SSH properly. There we go. Yeah. So let's do sudo service SSHD status. We'll see if that's running. That is running. Interesting. Let's see if we can just SSH to conda at localhost. Yep. And okay, we'll just do that. Okay, so we can SSH just fine into there. Let's see what the problem is. Did we get the IP address wrong? .9.214. We should be able to oh, I did .8. Ah, there we go. That'll do it. Cool. So we should just be able to SSH right in here, and that should be great. So I think we should have the deb package in our home directory. Maybe not. Let's just make sure. Let's go back and make sure we copy it into the correct place. So let's see. I don't know where SCP puts it by default, so we'll just copy it again. So SCP Splunk. Let's see, what was it? Splunk-813, whatever, to conda at 192.168.9.214, and let's just put it in /home/conda. That should be fine. That should work perfectly. There we go. I don't think it downloaded properly last time, so there we go. Now we see the status bar. Everything looks all good to go. Perfect. So I think we can just go ahead and run this deb package and should be able to get Splunk up and running and installed. So we should just be able to sudo apt install and then this package name and get that installed. It's been a while since I've set Splunk up. I don't remember it being too crazy of a process. So we'll see what happens with it. Great. So let's see. Then, yeah, like I said, so a little bit later we'll get into Ansible. I want to boot those machines up while we're waiting. So let's just go into ESXi, and I think we'll utilize share, we'll do web, and that should be fine right now. We'll worry about the Windows client later. Let's see. Great, awesome. So we'll get those booted up. Hey, Grandma's Kisses. Nice to see you around. Glad to see you again. All right, so we'll get those booted up in the meantime because I'm sure you know how long it can take Windows to boot up sometimes. They can be a little bit crazy with their load times. So let's see. Now let's take a look at the documentation for installing Splunk. It looks like it's pretty straightforward. Yeah, that should be easy enough. So I guess we'll just kind of wait on this download. Looks like it's let's see. /opt. Do we not have Splunk? We do. Okay, I mean it looks all right, but it's missing a file. Interesting. Hey, thanks. I'm glad you like the streaming setup. It took me a while to make in Photoshop. I'm definitely not too artistic, but it's I think it came out pretty good. So yeah, I've used Splunk a bit, but it's been a while since I've set it up. It's definitely pretty cool, and I know some people were asking about using like an elk stack for logging, which I'd definitely be open to do a little bit later. So maybe we'll switch what we use for our logging system at a different time. But for now, we'll just stick with Splunk, and we'll see how that works. There's no reason we can't install more than one. And actually, before I get too ahead of myself, let me just go ahead and make a quick snapshot real quick in case we mess something up. So we'll just take a quick base image snapshot. And I'm wondering why this failed. So I'm just going to try to run it again, and we'll see if everything is all right before we go ahead and try to do anything else. Let's see. That looks like it worked out just fine. So I'm not sure what the hiccup was there. Let's see. So now looks like this is the command we need to start Splunk at boot, which is definitely what we want to do. So let's get that started. Great. We'll have to accept the license here. Can we scroll? Oh, I guess we have to hold enter. All right. Well, that seems like a a long process to accept a license. I can't do any page down or scrolling with the mouse or anything. So, oh, let's see. Oh, you can use S. I guess it goes a lot faster. There we go. Great. And yes, we do accept this. We'll do a Y. See an apt upgrade. Yeah, we could do an apt upgrade, but I don't know. I should have done that from the install. It's fine. We can do it a little bit later. No big deal. So the administrator name, let's just do Conda. We'll just keep everything standardized for now. And the new password, all right, we'll set this as Conda123 bang, our great password that we've reused in our entire lab. All right, awesome. So it looks like that is all set up. That's good to go. Now, okay, we did all this stuff. Yep. Now, okay, hopefully we just need to start the Splunk service, and it should work. So let's see. That seems to be hanging. It could be a good sign. And I believe, let's see, I think Splunk runs on port 8000. Let's just see if we can go to port 8000. Localhost, and then 8000. Let's see. Unable to connect. Is it HTTP? Or HTTPS, I mean. Nope. It's a different port. Let's see. Well, let's just do an LSOF. We can just do SS grep 80. We'll see. Let's see. It should be running. So we'll do sudo service Splunk status. See if make sure that's actually running. Yeah, it looks like that is good to go. Oh, is it port 8089? Let's check that. Problem loading. Okay. That's interesting. Let's see what the Splunk web port is. Let's see, default from 8000. Yeah, so it should be running on 8000, I believe. Let's see, did we miss something? 8089. Yeah, I tried 8089. I'm surprised that's not working. Let's see. That should be good to go. Yeah, so here's where it says the web server is running. Well, all right. Maybe we need to go to it by name. Let's just open this link and see if it works. I wonder what's up with that. It seems to say it's running. All right, let's just try to restart that, and hopefully it comes back up. Let's see. Should be running at port 8000. Okay. Yeah, not found. That's very strange. I don't think we have any firewall running. Let's just do a UFW status. Sudo. Inactive. Okay, so yeah, there shouldn't be any firewall on here. It's just a base image. There's nothing on here at all. Let's see. Should be here. Let's open that up. Interesting. Not sure what the deal is with that one. So we should have all this stuff. I think, did it create a new user for Splunk? It should have. I think so. Yeah, we have the Splunk user. Everything should be good. I'm just going to try to reboot this box real quick, and we'll see if that helps. Oh, you know what? Oh, I'm stupid. I was browsing to localhost, but we're not on the Splunk server. So it should be 192.168.9.214, port 8000. My bad. 8,000, not 800. It's been a long week. I was worried I wasn't going to be able to get to do the stream, but I'm definitely happy that I was able to. It's been definitely a super crazy busy week. Now, I think we're just going to need to configure Splunk to run not on localhost, and that should be, I think that's the problem right now. So that should be no big deal to fix. Let's see. I don't know how to do it offhand, but we'll see how we can change that. So we'll see Splunk, change web app interface. That sounds like the good warning. Great. Web.conf. That sounds like exactly what we need. Let's see. Great. Where is the path to this? Well, I'm sure we'll find it once the server comes back up. Let's see. All right, cool. That came back up pretty quick. That's awesome. So now let's go into Splunk. Let's make sure we're actually browsing to the correct interface. I would assume it's in Etsy, and there's probably a web.conf in here. Let's see. No. We'll do find web. I think find dash name. Dash name web.conf. I think that is the correct syntax. This doesn't seem like the right thing. Where is, oh, system, okay. System default, and then we should have our web.conf in here. Great. Okay, so something in here is probably going to tell us, yeah, okay, the management, great. Now, hopefully we can, oh, we have to run this as sudo. Okay, so hopefully we can just set this to run on all interfaces. That will make our life a lot easier. But we shouldn't have to access it from localhost ever. I mean, there's not even a GUI on there, and I'm not crazy, so I don't want to run it through links. So, yeah, why does it say read-only file? We should have permission to write to this. Why would that be read-only? Does it still say that? Yeah. All right, let's check who owns this. Maybe it's just that Splunk owns it. Let's see, web.conf. Yeah, it's owned by Splunk. Okay, so I think we do sudo-u Splunk vim web.conf. Okay. No. Interesting. Okay, so we'll just sudo Splunk for right now. I guess I'll have to do that as sudo. So sudo su Splunk. Great. So now we can go into opt Splunk Etsy system default, and we should just be able to do vim web.conf. Oh, it's still read only. Okay, well, let's just do change mod plus what is it? 444 right now. Let's just change it to 644 web.conf. Hopefully that will be all right. I don't think that would break anything, but I guess we'll see. We'll see how that goes. We can always change the permissions back after we edit it anyways. So let's just put this to 0.0.0 to put that on all interfaces. And let's just do a sudo service Splunk restart. And we'll see if that comes up. I hope so. I guess we'll wait and see. I guess the moment of truth. I'm hoping it will just come back up on this web port. That would be fantastic. I think this is supposed to be a 9, isn't it? I don't know why I keep putting 8s. Oh, that looks promising. Great. All right, so we're good. We're good. Great. So we should just be able to log in with Conda and Conda 123 bang. Oh, fantastic. Look at that. Easy setup. We got Splunk working. So there is our base instance of Splunk that is currently not doing anything because we don't have any logs being forwarded to this. But at least we got it working, and that was not as painful as getting MS SQL set up if you were here last time. So I'm just going to take another snapshot. So just to make sure, in case I really screw something up, which is certainly in the realm of possibilities, we know... Oh, wait, I'm taking a snapshot of the wrong VM. Yeah, we'll take a snapshot of here called Splunk base. There we go. SSH, yeah, we're connected via SSH, so it's important that we take the snapshot of the correct VM. All right, awesome. So that is all looking good. We have Splunk set up. Now we need to actually set up the universal forwarder to install, to install that forwarder on all of our Windows clients, so they will forward all their logs to Splunk. So let's take a look at our ESXi environment. I think, let's see. The way I want to do this is let's start with share, right? So I'm thinking Ansible is going to be what's automating all this, and we're going to need to pull files with Ansible. I'm thinking we're going to create an SMB share on our share server where we can host all of our files for provisioning, and then we can pull them from there to all of our other machines. So let's just get a not monitor. Let's just get a console opened up for our share server, and we'll use this kind of like as our playground to test. So let's see. Right. You'll be happy to know I did figure out the Windows resolution stuff. So once I get logged in, I can make this actual 1920 by 1080, which is what my monitor is, and it won't be such a small box anymore. So finally got that figured out off camera. So all right, let's get logged into here and see what we've got cooking. Great. So we should, fingers crossed, it was working before, I swear. Should be able to change this resolution. There we go. Yeah, there we go. 1920 by 1080. Perfect. That looks a lot better. So hopefully now you guys can see this a lot better than before, which is great. So again, we'll just take another snapshot, and let's see. We'll do this pre-logging, we'll call it. Great. Let's take that snapshot, and I hope we have some sort of web browser on here. We don't. Okay. So that's fine. We'll just go through and install like Google Chrome or something real quick, because there's a few things that we have to download. I'd like to get Sysmon installed so that we can actually get some better logs in here. I'll explain Sysmon a bit more once we move on to that part. And then, of course, we'll need the Splunk log folder, as I was talking about before. So let's just go on and turn off the Internet Explorer security stuff. That way we can actually browse the web. And let's just go ahead and download Google Chrome. All right, let's get that started. Cool. Yeah, I'm curious to see if any of you are actually building labs yourself. If so, definitely let me know. I'm curious to see what kind of labs you all are coming up with or what you're doing. So VMware Tools, that also was not on there, right? So VMware Tools is not on there for the resolution. But it was also something to do with the graphic driver settings in the actual ESXi virtual machine. So it took a bit of troubleshooting, but I did get it figured out eventually. So that was good. Let's see. Uh-oh. DNS timed out. That is not good. Let's see. So we might have... Let's see. Yeah, so VM Tools, I know for some reason, I always thought it always put it on there, and it usually does, but for some reason, the VM Tools, it didn't seem to be there on some of these Windows boxes, which was pretty strange to me. So, no internet access. Yeah, that's not good. I think, you know what? I don't think did we turn the domain controller on? We should have. I'm worried that we didn't set a static DHCP entry for the... Oh, okay. No, the domain controller is just not on. Okay. I was going to say, I was worried that the domain controller's IP address changed, which would be a problem. I don't know if I set that to be static. If not, I will make sure to do that. But I think we should be fine once the DC boots up. It's just not getting DNS. Where You know, if you ever worked with AD, DNS is always a problem. So that's why it's the first thing I look for whenever we're having issues. Hopefully, let's just open up a console into that so we can monitor it as it comes back up. So we'll launch that remote console. Great. Cool, cool. Yeah, okay, so that's still booting up. No worries. That can take a little bit of time. Hopefully it won't take too long. Now, I just want to make sure. I think I already downloaded the Splunk Universal Forwarder. Let me just double check, though. So if we just go into downloads. Oh, wait, this is SSH into the Splunk server. Okay, yeah, so we do have the MSI file for the Universal Forwarder, so that should be fine. Now, while that's booting up, let's see. Let's see if it's up. All right, it is up, so hopefully we will have DNS and we can browse the internet. Question mark? Oh, no, I don't want you to fix anything. I don't think oh, there we go. Great. I don't think the Windows Troubleshooter actually ever fixes anything, but that's for another day. Hack the Box CTF? I didn't know they're doing a CTF. When's that CTF happening, or what are they doing with it? Is it just like, you know, who can root the most boxes on Hack the Box, or I don't know anything about it. Great. Now we can get Google Chrome in here, and we won't be working with Edge, which, oh no, Explorer even. Why don't I stream on Twitch? I don't know. I've just never used Twitch. I don't know if I don't know what Twitch streaming is like, honestly. I can try it. I mean, I think Streamlabs is a thing where I can stream on both at the same time. I don't know how that would work out, but can definitely try it if it's something that would be easier for streaming. And I think my handle was taken on Twitch, which is big sad face. It's hard to find a 5-character handle anymore. I think they're just all taken by bots and people who want to harvest them. All right, great. So this should be fine now. Great. We have Chrome, and we want to install Sysmon. So let's see. Windows Server 2019 Sysmon. That's awesome. A Jeopardy style CTF. That sounds pretty cool. Maybe I'll look into it. I don't think I'm gonna have time, unfortunately. That's a Monday, and I'm gonna be working, so that kind of sucks. But if you're doing it, that sounds pretty fun. You know, good luck with it if you are. So yeah, so if you've never seen Sysmon, it doesn't come by default on Windows, but it adds a bunch of extra stuff into Event Viewer with, like, you know, process creation with record of current process and parent process, which is super important. Like, if you think that, you know, an end user downloaded malware, right? They downloaded, like, you know, an email attachment from Outlook. You can see that process be spawned, and then you can see all the processes that parent process will spawn, and you can kind of trace out what the malware did. And, you know, you get all sorts of great stuff like the hashes of different files, or, you know, if any registry keys were changed and things like that. So, you know, it's just something that adds to Event Viewer and gives you a lot of useful stuff when you're trying to do Purple Team. And it's really easy to set up. So we're going to use, we're going to install it manually on the share server just to start with, and then we can do some automation and get it on all of the other servers. So let's just see how you do it. I forget. It's like 2 steps. Let's see. Windows, Sysmon, installation. I think all you have to do is run the binary and accept the agreement. Oh, well, this is the same thing. Well, if we scroll down, does it just tell you how to do it? Yeah, okay. I'm being blind. There we go. So it's right here. All you have to do is run it and accept the end user license agreement. Great. So we have Sysmon 64. That's exactly what we need. Now, if we just go, let's just create a new share. So we'll go to File. Yeah, this is fine. Okay. We don't have any shares. So let's see. Let's first just go and create a new folder. We'll just call it, I don't know. But we'll call it share. That's fine. Now it's a little confusing. We'll just call it files, whatever. And let's see. Let's check the properties here. Let's make sure that anybody can read from here. So any authenticated users read, that's fine. Also, what if we give, I think that should be fine. If we run into any issues, we can figure it out. Now we'll go into the downloads and let's extract this. That's fine. We'll extract it here. It's no big deal. And I just want to copy all of these over to that new folder we just created, and then we can host that as an SMB share. So we have files. Let's just paste it all here. And let's see. We should just be able to add a new share. Am I missing something? It's been a while since I've done this. Where is it? Share. Okay. Hey, how to everything? Glad you could stop by. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you can learn some stuff. I know you said you're interested in all of the automation, and we'll definitely be getting into that. So that should be a lot of fun. We're gonna have to Google how to add a new SMB share. So let's see, Windows Server 2019 add SMB share. It shouldn't be too bad. I've done this a million times, but for some reason I cannot remember how. Let's see. We should have this feature. Let's see, maybe create SMB share. Great. I don't really want to do it with PowerShell. I mean, we can. I feel like there's just a way to add one through here. That's fine. Let's just try it through PowerShell. New SMB. Okay, let's just try that. So we'll try PowerShell. Yes, so we'll be doing some Ansible stuff with Windows today, which is super fun. Should be a lot of great stuff going on with that. Let's see. So we should just be able to do new SMB share. Uh-oh. There we go. I always get nervous when I hit tab in PowerShell and it just hangs. All right. New SMB share dash name files. Great. Files. Perfect. And then dash path should be C/files. Hopefully that'll work. Great. It looks like that's fine. Hopefully we should see it in here now. I don't know why we aren't seeing it in here. I think the shares should show up here. Maybe not. Maybe I'm missing something. That's weird. Well, if we just, it doesn't really matter if we see it through the GUI. But we should be able to, if we like, I'm going to see if we can browse to it by UNC path. That should tell us if it's up. Okay, yeah, we have files here. So yeah, I don't know what the deal is with that, but that should be fine. Now, let's go over to our Ubuntu machine, and let's just make sure that we can actually hit that SMB share now before we start trying to do any automation with it. So let's see. Do we have SMB map or anything? No. So we'll do sudo apt install SMB client should be fine. Great. So we'll install that, and that way we can check to make sure we can actually access the files. Now, the reason we're doing it this way, I mean, you definitely can with Ansible just pull the files directly from the internet, but if the URL changes or if that file ever gets removed from that point in the internet, of course your automation is going to break. So with these small files, it's just easy just to host them ourselves. So we'll do SMB client, and let's see. What is the IP address of our share server? Let's see, we'll do IP config. I feel like a lot of you probably have only done like SMB map or stuff like that and hacked the box. I know that was how it was for me for a while before I understood like, oh, these are just regular management tools. I just use them for hacking. All right, so this is 9.243. So we'll do 4/192.168.9.243 /files. Okay, -u I think is what it wants. It's been so long. Because SMB client and SMB map have different user and password flags, and it always gets me confused. So yeah, so we'll do -u, and we'll just do administrator. Interesting. I wonder if we can even hit that. So let's just check nmap port 445.192. Oh, wait. This is supposed to be a 9. I don't know why I keep putting 8s in there. There we go. Yep, always the 8. I don't know why. Great, okay. So we can see... Great, okay. So we have all our files in here. That's no problem. That is all set up. Great. Perfect, perfect. So we'll just go through and install this manually first. So let's just pop back over to share now that we know that that's all set up and that's all working. Let's just log back into here. Awesome. Now, if we cd into c/files, let me just see if I can make this a bit bigger. Let's go to the font. Let's crank that up. That's a little small still. Let's see. 28. That sounds awesome. Great. Hopefully you can see that a bit better now. Now, we should just be able to run sysmon64.exe. And what was the flag for that? I think it was just -I and then accept EULA. Yeah. Great. So we'll just copy that. Cool. Cool. And that should install. It should be good. Hey, how's it going? Nice to see you. Nice to see you showed up. Appreciate it. Cool. So Sysmon should be good to go, and we can verify that if we just check Event Viewer. So let's just go into Tools and where is it? Event Viewer. It's alphabetical. Great. Let's see. I forget what the path is. What is the path to Sysmon? Microsoft, Windows. I feel like it's in here. We should see Sysmon. Sysmon, hey, there we go. Great. So Sysmon is definitely running. We've got some Sysmon logs started. You can see like process create, process terminated, services changing. So that's going to be some, really interesting logs when we're looking at like trying to analyze attacks that happen in the lab and stuff like that. So those are super important to have when we're trying to do like forensic stuff. So great. We've got Sysmon in here. Now we could just create an Ansible playbook, which essentially is just going to copy over the Sysmon executable from our SMB server and then run that simple one command to get Sysmon on the system and running. So that should be all we need to do for our first Ansible playbook. So let's pop over to our Ubuntu machine and let's see. Let's just make a directory called Ansible. Now, if you've never used Ansible before, let me do like a quick summary of what Ansible is, in case you've never worked with it before, because it is so useful, and honestly, it's like my favorite thing ever. So let's take a look at what this is. Right, so Ansible is a provisioning tool, right? So you can use Ansible to do all sorts of things. Anything you could do from a command line, you could do with Ansible. Now, it's written in Python, and it communicates to clients via SSH, or in Windows, it's WinRM. So essentially, what you would do is you would write an Ansible playbook, which is kind of like a script, right, of like, steps of things to do. Could be copy a file, add a user, change a password, whatever. The sky's the limit, right? Now, you would create an Ansible playbook to do something, and then you would run it against all of your different clients. So you could create one Ansible playbook, which is what we're going to do to like, install Sysmon. And then you can target multiple different hosts, one that run that single playbook against all of them and get that single task or multiple tasks done against a lot of hosts very quickly. So I think it will be very useful if you've never used Ansible before. This is definitely a really cool tool, and it's very simple to get started with. See how everything's asking after done with creating the lab, will you be uploading it on Hack the Box, Try Hack Me or something? No, I don't think there's going to be any great way to share this lab. It's going to be pretty massive, and I don't think they would accept it on like Hack the Box or Try Hack Me or anything, unfortunately. But I think it's pretty cool. I don't know if they would accept it though. So let's see. The Ansible documentation is really good too. So I want to look at their getting started guide real quick. Here it is. Great. Now, it took me a little bit to learn Ansible. Once I did, I'll never go back to not using it. No more hacky, Python or Bash scripts to get things done with automation. No, never again. Now, I don't want to look at the Red Hat documentation. I want to see Ansible stuff. Now, Red Hat does own Ansible, so that's why you're seeing that. But the stuff on Ansible's website, I think, looks a lot nicer. And honestly, their documentation is so good that it's really easy to get started and figure out how to do things. So we're just going to walk through and do some of the basics, on our own. But let's see. We'll start off doing some easy stuff. So the first thing we need to do is actually install Ansible. You can install it with apt or with pip. So in my case, I'm going to do pip3 to install Ansible just because I believe pip right now has Ansible 210.9, which is version I'm comfortable working with. So that should be fine. We'll do pip3 install Ansible. Oh, we don't have pip. That's a shame. Well, that's all right. We can install that. Great. Now, I can also upload all of these Ansible playbooks that we make live to a GitHub repository if anyone's interested in actually using them. So if that's the case, just let me know, and I'll put them in like a public GitHub repo. That's no problem. But yeah, that should be good. We should just need to install Ansible, and I think we're going to need the Python WinRM module as well, so we can communicate with a Windows machine. So that should be fine. Now, the Ansible playbooks are just in a YAML format, so you don't really need to know any programming or scripting to do it. And the great thing about the modules is, like, for example, if you want to copy a file, you just say Ansible copy, it's like file module, and you tell it, the source and the destination where to copy it to. It doesn't matter what operating system it is, it all just works the same. They really obfuscate that away from the end user, which makes it really, really easy to work with. So we should have Ansible installed now. So if we do Ansible -- version, we should have that. Why do we not have Ansible? Okay, I know why. Let's see. Because we don't have the Python path added. So let's see. What is it? We don't have the Python environment in here. I think it's local. cat.local. Local share bin, maybe? Where is it? Somewhere in here, when you install stuff to Python. Let's see, we'll just do a find command. So do find dot and dash name Ansible. Well, yeah, we have slash Ansible. Oh, yeah, we installed pip, not Ansible. Yeah, you're right. My bad. So pip3 install Ansible. Great. Yeah, like I said, sorry, it's been a super long week. There we go. Great. So pip3 install Ansible. That should be good. And then we'll also need to do PyWinRM, I believe the module is called. So we'll install that. Oh, I didn't realize they upgraded the version of Ansible and pip to 3.2. I'm not sure what new features are in that, but that's pretty cool. That should be fun. Great, so we'll get that installed, and we should just be able to get a basic playbook up and running pretty quickly. It's pretty easy to get started with. So let's see. This shouldn't take too long. I'm just going to pull up my notes real quick for some of the Ansible stuff. There's a lot of variables we have to set with the WinRM connections, so don't be confused at first if you never use like WinRM or anything like that. It's basically just like remote PowerShell. Very similar to how SSH would work. So yeah, we should be able to go in there and do a bunch of great administrative tasks with Ansible. And then, if I upload that stuff to a public GitHub repository, if you're following along and building a lab or anything like that, it will be very easy for you to replicate this stuff. You have to make some little tweaks here and there based on the differences in our environments, but you should be able to get things running pretty easily. Now, a lot of stuff that I set up with Ansible, I think I actually even have a GitHub repository where I built a vulnerable machine with Ansible. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick. I think I called it Vuln Labs. If I could spell labs. Yeah, here we go. Cool. So if you want to see some other stuff I've done with Ansible and automation, you can go to this URL. This GitHub repository I made like a custom box, and it's all built automatically with Ansible. So imagine your typical hack the box machine. I'm sure all of you are familiar with. This is an automated build for a machine just like that. So starting from scratch, just from an ISO file, it uses Packer and Ansible to provision a machine. So this is kind of like what an example playbook looks like in Ansible. It's just basic YAML syntax, and we're going to go through creating this from scratch. But if you want to see another example of something I made with Ansible, go ahead and check out the Vuln Labs repository. It's been a while since I've published a vulnerable machine, but it's definitely a fun thing to do. All right, so now that we have that installed, we need to do pip3 install PyWinRM as well. I think that's a package name, but I guess we'll find out. Yeah, it looks like everything's good. Great. So let's go into our Ansible directory, and the first thing we need to do is create a playbook. So let's just create it. We'll just call it main.yml. Awesome. Now, the first thing we need to do is all YAML files start with 3 dashes, just like that. And then we need to actually specify a name for our playbook. So for ours, we'll just call it install Sysmon. Great. Now, we need to specify a list of hosts to target. Now, we're only going to be, well, we need to create a host file too, but for right now, we'll just do host all. And let's just go ahead and create an inventory file. So let's just vim inventory. And this can be in YAML or INI format. So for us, let's just see, we're going to do Windows servers. So we'll just do Windows as a group, and then we can specify all the IP addresses here. So let's just go through and make sure we get all of the IPs. I'm going to pull this up just in a different window here. So let's see. See if I can pull the IPs. It doesn't look like I can do that easily. So we're just going to have to check each machine individually. It's no big deal. So let's just pop over to share. It's going to be one of them. We'll have to unlock this one. And let's see. Great. We'll log in here. Check what this IP address is. Let's see. .9.243, not .8. So let's see. Let's go back to here. 192.168.9.243. And then we also have, let's just check what these other ones are. We're going to have to get some consoles into those. Let's see. Grab ESXi over here. And we want to install this on, let's see, we're going to go with our domain controller. So let's get a remote console into here. Great. We'll log into this one. Cool. Now, basically what we're doing is creating one group that we can target. So we can target all of our Windows servers at once. You know, once we start adding Linux machines, of course, this method of installing Sysmon is not going to apply to them. So we just want to run it against the Windows machines in our inventory. So let's just check what this IP address is real quick. .9.174. Okay. So 192.168.9.174. And we know these other ones are going to be 192.168.9. something. So we'll just pre-fill that. There we go. Cool. So we have share, we have the domain controller. We're going to need the web server and the HTTP server. I think that's what we have. I'm forgetting what we set up in the lab. Yeah. So we have web 1. Great. So let's get a console into that one. This thing is going to be eating up system resources. We've got a lot of machines running. Great. So we'll log into here, which is great. It's only a one-time thing. Once we get this list of IPs, we should be fine. Usually they'll populate into ESXi, like just in the VM description, but for some reason it hasn't been doing that recently. I don't know. It's ESXi is great, but I think I'd like to put vCenter on top of it just to make it a lot easier to manage. So, you know, maybe that'll be a project for me in the future is to get vCenter on there. All right, this one is 160. Great. So we'll add that in here. And all right, so check ESXi again. Let's see which ones we are missing. So we have the domain controller, we have share, we have web 1, and is that it? Web, share, DC. Yeah, I guess it's only 3 for now because we're going to skip the Windows 10 one. I mean, we could put it on there. That's fine. We can decide to do that later if we want. We'll just start with the servers for now. Yeah, that should be fine. So we'll do these 3, and we'll just name this group like Windows Server. So let's just get rid of that line. We'll say this is Windows Server. And then I think we can also specify variables in the inventory file. I don't remember the syntax offhand. I think it's just the same thing except you do the group name : vars, but I just want to make sure. So we'll do Ansible ini inventory file variables because we're gonna have to specify some variables in there to tell Ansible that it needs to use WinRM and things like that. So I just want to make sure, Yeah, okay. So it's just the group name colon vars. Great. So we have our web servers group, right? And now we can do Windows, we have our Windows servers group. So we can do Windows servers colon vars and specify some variables for that group. Now, for example, we need to set things like Ansible underscore connect, or Ansible, yeah, Ansible underscore connection. This is a standard Ansible variable, but basically we're telling this to use WinRM instead of the standard SSH. And then we're going to do the Ansible port. Now, instead of the standard of 22, it's going to be 5985 is WinRM. And let's see. Do they need spaces here? Oh, no, use equal signs. Okay. Okay, we use equal signs instead. My bad. I thought it looked a little weird. There we go. Equal signs. Perfect. And then we also need Ansible WinRM transport scheme. Transport scheme. Great. And we're going to set that to HTTP because, WinRM can either work under plain HTTP or HTTPS, and we're just using plain HTTP for this. And we're also going to do Ansible underscore WinRM underscore transport. You know what? This should be just WinRM scheme, not transport scheme. And we're going to tell this to use NTLM off. So that should be fine since it's domain joined. That should be exactly what we need. Now there's other things that we can specify here, such as the Ansible user. So, we know for all of our Windows machine, they have a standardized username and password for the administrator. Now, typically you wouldn't want to run all your provisioning stuff as your domain admin. But in this case, that's what we're going to be doing for now. It's definitely not what you should be doing on real systems, but it will be just fine for us. So we'll do administrator. And then we also need the Ansible password, which is going to be conda123 exclamation point. Now, instead of having to declare all of these variables in every single playbook that we write for these Windows servers, we can define them all in this inventory file, which just makes life a lot easier for us. So instead of having to type them out every time, we just do it once, and then we run the playbooks with that inventory file. So now if we go back into our playbook, for hosts, we're just going to target Windows underscore servers. Great. Now, the only thing, let's see, first thing we should do, I think, let's see if we just run this with no task. I think it will just gather facts. So let's see if we can just do Ansible. Oh, here we are. Now we need now is where we need the Python stuff. Let's see. We don't have Ansible in our path currently, so we just need to see where that is. I believe it's in .local. So let's see. .local. There should be a bin. Yeah, there we go. We should have Ansible. Great. So all we need to do is we need to add this to our path. So let's see. We'll just do export path is equal to $path colon the thing we want to add. Great. Now we should be able to run Ansible stuff. Perfect. So we can do Ansible -playbook, which is the command to actually run a playbook with Ansible. Oh, Heather, thanks for the donation. I didn't realize I didn't hear it go off. You don't have to do that. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. For some reason, I think my speakers aren't working. I'll have to double check that. Thank you so much. All right, so we can run Ansible doing Ansible -playbook and then main.yml and -i for the host file and for the inventory file. And I think we just called it inventory. Now, let's see. You have to have SSH pass installed. Okay, so let's see. It's trying to use SSH. It definitely should not be doing that. So let's see. Let's take a look at why it's doing it. Ansible connection WinRM, that should be fine. Interesting. I'm going to try to specify these in our vars in the playbook. You shouldn't have to do it this way. Well, let's see. It's been a while since I've actually messed around with the variables, so let's just check this out. We'll do vim main.yml, and let's just go ahead and put a vars section in here. So we can just do vars, just like this, and this is how you can actually just define a bunch of variables in your playbook if you want to do it this way. We just need 2 spaces there, and we can paste all of these in. So let's see. Let's go ahead and fix this formatting. And no, I guess it doesn't work. Okay, I always forget the Vim shortcut to bulk add things. I feel like I get it right, but then apparently it doesn't work. Now, I don't think we should have to do it this way, but let's just double check and see. Now, we'd also have to change all of these since it's YAML format to, oh no, don't do that. There we go. So we'd have to do it this way and add add colons instead of equal signs. And that should be great. Cool. All right, so now let's try to run it and see if it works. No, it doesn't like that. Why does it not like that? We should be able to specify the variables here. What does it not like about this? Oh, Ansible connection. Maybe it's it shouldn't matter with the variable name. I'm wondering what its deal is. Vars in a play must be specified as a dictionary. Okay. Oh, we need spaces. That's what it is. There we go. I was wondering why the syntax wasn't highlighting. There we go. Great. So we can add spaces in here. And perfect. Now that will work. Hopefully. So, okay. I'm not sure why adding the variables in the inventory file didn't work properly. It certainly should. But it's all right. We can roll with it for now. So let's see. What that just did is it went through and it did its, fact gathering. So Ansible will reach out to every host initially, and it will pull a series of, facts from the host, like the operating system, what version of the operating system, all sorts of stuff. If you look up what Ansible facts are, let's see. Ansible facts. There's so much that you have to work with, and you can also do logic based on these variables and these facts, right? So you could build something where it's like, if it's a Debian system, do this. If it's a Red Hat system, do this. So you can do all sorts of logic like that. But here's an example of what the facts it pulls automatically are. So you see like the IP addresses, the system architecture, BIOS information, the current time and date. I mean, this is a huge JSON list of things. So there is just so much in there for you to actually play around with. Definitely a lot in there. So let's see. That is all good. Here, one second. I'm going to reach behind and turn my speaker on real quick. You might hear a little power up noise. And I think it turned off. I wasn't hearing the stuff for the stream. So there we go. Now I should be able to hear things. Great. So we're all set with this, and we have our basic Ansible stuff working. Now I don't know why. I really don't understand why the variables didn't work in the inventory file. It's going to bother me, but I'm not going to get stuck on that. We'll worry about that next time. I'll come up with a solution for that. It's just probably just something stupid I'm doing. But we do have a basic setup running with Ansible. We know we can reach out to all 3 of our hosts. We can see that all worked appropriately, and we're good. See, Heather's asking about Ansible Vault. I don't have a demo ready for Vault. I've only worked with it once before. Ansible Vault is definitely very cool, but unfortunately, I don't have something ready for that. And essentially, Ansible Vault is like, if you've never used it, essentially you can encrypt things in your playbook, and then Ansible Vault will like decrypt them when you run the playbook. So instead of storing passwords in plain text in your playbook, you can use Vault and store them as a hash, and then you just need a shared secret to decrypt them. So it's just kind of like a password manager, but for Ansible stuff and Ansible variables and all sorts of stuff that goes along with that. So that's definitely very exciting. Now, but for us to install our Sysmon, right? So let's go back to our playbook, and we need to specify a series of tasks in this playbook. So the first thing we'll do is, well, let's add a task setting. So we'll do tasks, and then for each task, you need to specify a name. So we'll do dash name, and like, for example, the first thing we need to do is let's create a directory. So we'll create a temporary directory. So we'll create c/temp. and that's where we're going to be copying all of our stuff into. So if you've never used Ansible, like I said, their documentation is so great. It can do a lot of great things. So if we just look up Ansible create directory, and there's a difference between Windows and Linux. So for us, we're just going to look up Windows. You're going to see it's instantly going to come up with their documentation. They have documentation for each parameter that this module accepts, and then they have a bunch of examples of how to actually, create these different things, right? Sorry, how to interact with these modules in different ways. So it's not just one simple example, or it's not just like a man page where they give you a list of flags and what they do. They give you meaningful examples. So for example, we just need to do win_file and specify path and state. So we'll just do win_file as the module name, and then there's some things we have to pass. Oh, I didn't do that correctly. Win_file, and then there are things we need to pass to it. So we just do 2 spaces, and we'll do state is directory, I believe is what the documentation says. So we want to make sure that directory exists, and the path is going to be c/temp. Now let's just go ahead and run this and make sure that works. So this should go to every machine, and it should create a c/temp directory. Now you don't have to do this step by step, iteratively running the playbook every time like I'm doing, but I'm just doing it for a quick demonstration. Now we can see that we get an orange changed, right, when we run this. So this means that Ansible actually changed something. So that temp directory didn't exist, but it went through and actually created it on each of the machines. So if we check, if we run it again, right, and these should be green this time instead of orange because Ansible doesn't actually have to change anything. It already was there. So Ansible can recognize that we've already done that step and we don't need to do it again, right? So it runs a lot faster this time. So hopefully that makes sense. If you have any questions, feel free to ask while we're doing it. This isn't really an in-depth talk on Ansible. It's just I'm hoping to get you a little bit familiar so you can start using it. I'm actually going to be doing an in-person Ansible talk this Thursday, so I don't know if it's going to be hosted online, but if so, I'll share the link. So it should be fun. But all right, so the next thing we need to do is grab the Sysmon file with Ansible from our share server. So we'll just look up like Ansible Windows get file over SMB, and this is this is how I go through just making Ansible playbooks. You really just Google it every way and you find their docs, and that's just kind of how it works. So they should have some examples. I think you can do it over SMB. Let's see. I think get URL might be what we want, because I think you can specify URLs as SMB instead of HTTP, but let's check. Maybe not. I swear you could do it via SMB. Yeah, okay. Interesting. Let's just do a Control F for SMB in here. Nothing. Okay, let's check Stack Overflow or see this. So let's see, how are they copying them over SMB? They're using SMB client. Okay, so that's another thing, right? If you can't find an appropriate Ansible module for it, you can do a raw. You can just do a raw shell command. So, it'll work that way too. Let's see, get URL. Yeah, so we might have to do it this way, and I think Windows should have SMB client on it by default. Let's just verify that before we go through running it on all of our systems. So let's just go to share one and log in. It should have SMB client. Let's just make sure. All right, so do condo 123 bang, log in there, and oh wow, thank you so much for the super chat, Grandma Kisses. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, all right, you guys are great tonight. I appreciate you. All right, so let's see if we can reference things. No, we cannot through SMB client. Okay, well, that's fine. So, if we can't find an Ansible module to do it, then, like I said, we can just use like PowerShell or something. So we can do like PowerShell download over SMB. Great, PowerShell download SMB file. Perfect. So, it's kind of a hacky way to do it instead of using Ansible, but it'll work. So copy item is the commandlet. Cool. So we'll do copy dash item. Ah, that's not a dash. Great. Copy dash item. Okay, cool. So it looks like that commandlet is there. Doesn't surprise me, but that's good. Perfect. So we should be all good to go with this. And yeah, we'll just do a raw PowerShell command. So now we'll look up Ansible run PowerShell command. Oh, I'm not even typing. There we go. Ansible run PowerShell command. Great. So yeah, Windows shell. And you should be able to specify either CMD or PowerShell, I believe. So let's see. Okay. Executable, yeah, so this is what we want. So we want Windows shell. Okay. Great. So now we'll add a new task in here. We'll do dash name, and we'll just say download Sysmon. We're going to do win shell, and let's see. Oh, we forgot the colon there. So win shell, and I think for arguments, we specify, let's see how they do the structure here. We do args and then executable CMD. Okay, let's just copy and paste this so I don't screw it up. Great. So we do args. Well, I messed up the spacing anyways. That's all right. So instead of CMD, we'll just put in PowerShell. And then, let's see. Okay. Win shell, and then just what to run. So we want to do win shell get, let's see, I think they're using double quotes to surround this. Oh, no, we don't need it, I guess. Okay, cool. So we'll do get item dash dash 192.168. Oh, I think we should just be able to do dash dash share. I think so. Slash file slash Sysmon64. Should be good. Let's just double check that's what the file name is. I'm pretty sure it is, but cannot hurt to double check. So let's just log back in here. Perfect. Cool. Let's see. Oh, it's a capital S. Yeah, I think that might have screwed us if we did it that way. No. So I don't think we can reference it just by doing .share. I think we could do the full name, but let's just do the IP address to be safe. So I forget what the IP is. I think it was .160. No, .243. Okay. So I'll pop back over here. Let's see. Here we go. So it was 192.168.9.243 slash file slash Sysmon with a capital S. And then the get item syntax. Let's see what that was. Where did we have that pulled up? Oh, I think that was on share. Cool. Get item, so source and then destination. So, okay, that's fine. So let's add that in there. We'll add the source and destination flags. Make sure we have the proper syntax for PowerShell. That's definitely important. Okay, so dash source. And then let's just put it in, let's see. We'll do dash destination. And we'll do C/temp. Great. Oh, you passed your ECPP. I can't even speak tonight. Your ECPPT. That's awesome. Congratulations. I'm super happy for you, dude. That's really great. It's always good to celebrate those wins, and those certs definitely pay off. You know, that's super great. So, all right, let's see if we can run this Ansible playbook. Let's see if that next task will work properly. So it should reach out to our share server and download that file. But let's see. There might be an error. I'm not sure if that's going to work properly. Yeah, let's see. It doesn't like the parameter source. Interesting. Why not? Random Stack Overflow answer says you like source. All right, let's see. Let's double check this ourselves. So we'll do copy item, see, 192.168.9.243/file. Hardest thing you've done. Next up, OSCP. Yeah, OSCP. That's awesome. That's gonna be exciting. It's definitely pretty tough, but super rewarding once you get it. Definitely super rewarding. Destination. We'll do C/temp. Interesting. Why is that not working? Do we need... Well, let's just do copy item. Can we do like a help? No? Interesting. I'm not sure what the deal is with that. Let's check that out. So we'll do PowerShell, copy item SMB. Maybe it's a different syntax. Maybe it's a different, version of PowerShell or something like that. So it's -path and -destination. Yeah. So there's Windows. They're always switching it up on you, keeping you on your toes, I guess, right? All right. So let's open up main.yml and we'll specify path instead of source. And hopefully, oh, actually, you know what? We need to add .exe in here as well. There we go. And let's run that bad boy and see if it works. So that's kind of how Ansible is, right? You just kind of step by step go through and try to get things to work. I don't think -source is a thing. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be a thing, unfortunately. I don't know what the deal was. But let's see. Parameter cannot be found that matches destination. Interesting. The internet lies to me. So we don't have something that's named destination. Well, let's see. All right, so we'll change this to path, and let's just see if this works. Yeah, it seemed to work. Which means I probably have a typo. So let's take a look. So we have -destination. Doesn't match destination. That's a weird one. Let's check. I'm going to copy and paste. Let's see. Did I spell destination correctly? Let's double check. Oh, I'm using get item instead of copy it. Ah, you're so right. Thank you so much, Ken. Thank you so much. Yeah, you're totally right. Good call, good call. Should get some more caffeine in me. There we go. That one should work. See, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be showing this stuff or if you guys are just... I think you are all here to help me. All right, copy item. Yeah, so I think I'm just mixing two commands up and I didn't realize it. So I think that... Let's see. Let's just check this. Let's see the one that just worked. Let's make sure and see what that one was that I ran. Great. So I think I ran, copy item, path, destination. Okay. And we copy item, path, destination. I didn't like that one. Then just get item, -path, and the source, destination. Yeah, forget item. Yeah. Sysmon 64 exe because it does not exist. Do we not need the exe? How do we do it here? Files. Okay, yeah, files plural. There we go. Great. Troubleshooting, a little bit of troubleshooting, no big deal. There we go. Now, for the 5th time we run this one, it should work. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Please, Ansible gods, whoever you are. No. Oh, one of them worked. That's interesting. Well, that's very strange, huh? So let's see. Access is denied. That's strange. How would access be denied on it? Okay, so what we can do is let's go over to our share and where our file share is. Let's go to properties, security, edit, and let's just add anonymous. Or can we just do everyone? Everyone, there we go. Everyone can read. Oh no, we just want to do it for files. Yeah, okay. All right, so let's just see if we can add everyone to this and give everyone read permission, and that should work. Access is denied. Interesting. Okay, so let's just go to our C drive. Yeah, red screen, I know, right? All right, let's go to files, properties, security, edit, add everyone. Great. Apply. Okay. Cool. Now, we try Ansible again. Here we go. And the good thing is, I think to install the Splunk Universal Forwarder, it should be pretty much the same playbook. We just kind of changed the file that we copy over. So let's see. Sysmon, are you going to work? No. Why not? Let's see. Cannot find files, Sysmon, because it does not exist. Does it not exist? I feel like it does exist. Yep. Interesting. Let's see. Can we just copy this one over? Let's put it on a different machine, see if it works from a different machine. So let's go over to web. Let's log in here. And let's see if we can just get a copy from a different server first. I guess we probably should have tried that from the get-go. Yeah, so that one did work. Okay. So let's see. I'm going to pull these up side by side real quick. And let's see if we're doing anything different. I don't think so. Oh, wait, don't want to run that. Great. I'm going to pull this up side by side, and let's see if we can get it working. So let's get ESXi up, and we'll open up a quick console into one of the other machines. I got it on my other monitor. So let's see. We're going to open up a quick console into Web 1 in the browser. And we should get this working. All right, 1 second. Make sure we have the exact same command. So we have copy item, path 192.168.9.243, files, sysmon64.exe, destination, c/temp. Interesting. How does it think that does not exist? It shouldn't be case sensitive, so that should be fine. We have it working on one box. We have it working on every box, but it's not working through Ansible. Let's just see if maybe we get rid of this slash at the end of temp. That's the only thing I can see that's different. Let's take a look. All right, now let's see. Nothing. Doesn't like that one. I think it has something to do with the what is it? What am I trying to say? The way quotes, or sorry, slashes are getting escaped. So let's see if this will work. If we can close it like this. Not sure why it would work on one and not on another. No, doesn't like it. Okay, so we'll get rid of those single quotes again. And I can't let you win on this one, PowerShell. I'll go to the end of the line. Great. What could be the difference here? Let me stare at this error message again. So let's see. Copy item cannot find path because it does not exist. Should exist. Well, let's Google this real quick and we'll see if there's a known issue with Ansible doing this over PowerShell. I don't know. There shouldn't be. I can't imagine it, but so we'll do Ansible PowerShell cannot find file. Oh, maybe there is. Oh, well, what do you know? Let's see. Ansible become and re-authenticate. Interesting. I wonder if we have to do it that way. It wouldn't make sense. We shouldn't have to. Oh, maybe we'll try this. Okay, so we'll try doing become with the password. Maybe it has something to do with that. Okay, so we'll try to add that in here and see if it works. So become method, yeah, so this is kind of like how you do like sudo as well, as like become. So let's see. Cool. Now, I can't imagine we'd have to re-authenticate because we're already administrator, but Windows authentication is a little crazy. So let's see. Great. Now let's try this again, see if it works. I hope so. I've usually don't run into any issues like this with Ansible. Usually it's pretty seamless, so I'm surprised that this is being so crazy. There we go. It was just a Windows credentials or authentication method error. So now it actually went through and downloaded that all. So if we run it again, let's see what happens. Hey, lessons learned, right? Sometimes things like that happen. So should go ahead and download the Sysmon again. Great. So now we know that that is working. That is perfect. So now we have the actual Sysmon executable installed on everything. Now we just need to actually run that command to install Sysmon. So we'll do a new task named run Sysmon. And this will also be WinShell. And we're just going to do sysmon-i -accept end user license agreement and args executable and that is going to be just CMD. And I think that should be good. So we should have that, and then we can also do another one. We'll just add two at once. Start Sysmon service will be the last thing we have to do. So we'll do name start Sysmon, and we'll set the Google Windows service. I'm not typing. Ansible start Windows service. All right, and let's see, Win service, and we should just be able to start Sysmon. So let's take a look. Scroll all the way down to the examples. So just do Win service, name, and state. Okay. Easy enough. So it's just win_service. And then the name is Sysmon. And the state is started. Okay, so now let's go ahead and run our playbook again. This should finally go through and install and start Sysmon on all of the machines. Hopefully, if those last 2 steps worked. So let's take a look. Let's see what happens. It's going to go through and download Sysmon again. Hopefully, we'll run Sysmon correctly. No, didn't like it. Okay, so it didn't like it because Sysmon was already installed on one of the machines. So for right now, I'm just going to edit our host file, or our inventory file, sorry. And let's remove, I think 160, I already had it. I think that's comment 9, I hope so. But I was just saying, yeah, basically Sysmon's already installed, so we can't do it. We could do some error handling with Ansible. This is just going to be the easier way to do it for right now. I don't want to get too crazy with the Ansible logic right now. I'd rather just get some of these things up and working. So let's see. Oh, and 243 failed. Oh, it's on 243 already. Okay. Great. Okay. So now we'll run it again. That should be fine. Now we wait and see. Interesting. Sysmon is not recognized as internal. Okay, so that's fixable. So it doesn't recognize Sysmon being in the path, which is kind of expected. So all you need to do to fix that is give the, give the full path to the Sysmon executable. So, oh no. We know that was in c/temp/sysmon64.exe. Great. And perfect. Okay, so now we should be able to run that, and hopefully this one will work, and we should be good to go. Let's take a look. I hope so. Well, like I said, hopefully with the Splunk Universal Forwarder, I think it's going to be the exact same workflow, so that should be good. Yeah, okay, run Sysmon, that worked. Okay, so it's saying, I don't know if Sysmon actually gets installed as a service, so maybe I shouldn't have gotten ahead of myself. Oh, the service is Sysmon64exe. Okay, I gotcha. There we go. So that should be it. But I think it should be working anyways. I think we should be good to go. So let's just take a look. If we do Control-Alt-Delete on, I think, well, let's see. We know that domain controller didn't have it, so let's check there. Because it's going to fail with that one task we did for all of them anyways right now. So let's see. If we open up Event Viewer, go to Event Viewer, and we should hopefully see Sysmon in here. So we'll go to Windows, Application and Services Logs. And it is in Microsoft, Windows, and Sysmon. So let's scroll down for that. Sysmon. Great. Okay. Yeah. So it's okay. That wasn't necessarily needed, but it would help. If something went wrong with the installation, it would fail. So you don't necessarily need to have it start, but it's definitely good practice. So we do have Sysmon installed on all of these machines now. So that's it. It's pretty simple to do with Ansible. I know we had a couple of kinks we had to iron out, but it wasn't too bad with all things considered with how that's actually going to work. So not too bad. Very small playbook for that. So now we have some decent logging set up on our systems. Nothing too crazy. I mean, we could go through and do some nice PowerShell logging and definitely a lot more logs of things that we could set up. But I think for now that should be just about fine. Yeah, so not too bad for 35 lines of YAML. Pretty powerful stuff with Ansible. So that's definitely great. Now, the next thing we want to do is install the Splunk Universal Forwarder on all of our machines. So let's see. We have it here. I think we should have it in our downloads folder. Oh no, wait, this is on the Splunk server. We should have our MSI here for the Splunk Universal Forwarder. So we need to install this on the Windows server so they actually send their logs to the Splunk server. So let's see. We have some docs here for this that I have pulled up already. Now, like how to install this in the command line. So this is essentially all we need here. Now, first thing we need to do is actually get this over to the share server so we can mount it there. I'm going to do this kind of in a cheaty way. Let's see. I'm just going to rename this Splunk forwarder to like Splunk forwarder. Let's see, forwarder .msi, and then we'll just do sudo. We'll do a quick Python like HTTP server. So we'll just do sudo python -m simple HTTP. I think you need a capital S. Simple HTTP server, and on port 80. Oh, we don't have Python. Okay. That's fine. Let's see. We'll just do sudo python 3-m http.server on port 80. Great. So we're serving files out of here. I actually don't even know what the IP of the server is. So let's see. 192.168.9.23. Great. So let's go over to share and we'll pull this down. Cool. So we'll open up Chrome. We'll go to VMware. Make this pop. Make this go away. 192.168.9.23, and we can just get our Splunk forwarder.msi. Cool. Now let's pull that up in our downloads folder, and let's copy that over to file so we can grab it out of there. Now here's where we're gonna do it. Well, let's take another snapshot first. So we'll do snapshot just in case before Splunk, we'll call it. Cool. And so from here, all we're going to do is manually set this MSI up first, just to make sure, manually set the Splunk forwarder up first, just to make sure we know how to do it properly from the command line. Then once we have that done correctly, we can go through and do the automated process. So you never really want to be doing things automatically for the first time. You kind of want to go through and do it manually first, just to make sure you know exactly how to do it. So let's see. We should be able to open up our command prompt here. And let me just make this a little bit bigger. I think 28 looked like the sweet spot before. So, all right. So now we need to go into C/files. And I think we just did an MSI exec. Yeah, okay. MSI exec. Splunk forwarder.msi, and let's just go check what Splunk says about how to do this. So MSI exec /i, and then the Splunk. Okay. So we'll do /i, and then there's a couple flags that we need to specify here. So let's see. We'll do log on username. Okay. Well, all right. So there's a few different ways you can deploy this universal forwarder. You can deploy it with a domain user account, or by default, it's just going to install as local system. As of now, I'm fine with just having it as local system. I'm not too worried about it. It should be fine. We could go through and do like a domain service account if we wanted to, but for now, it should be fine to just do it as local system. We can always go back and change things. So, let's see. So we need to specify logon password, logon username. There are some flags down here. Okay. Yeah, so this should be fine. So we'll go through and let's just run the MSI first and go through the graphical prompt, and we'll see how this goes. So yeah, do this. On-premise instance, we'll customize options. All right, so the default folder, that's fine. We do not have a cert set up, so that's fine. Well, actually, there's a attack method you can do based on that. It's definitely not secure to set it up this way, but that's for a different time. So application security system, we'll do all these logs. That's fine. And we could also add Sysmon in here too. Although I don't know exactly where it installs to offhand. So let's see. Splunk universal forwarder Sysmon. I think it should forward them, but let's just see. Okay. That's just someone deploying Sysmon, okay. All right, just, yep, deploy Splunk Universal Forwarder to all endpoints, okay, and then test Sysmon logs in the folder, add this in the configuration, and inputs.conf. Okay, so let's see if we can copy this path over in the MSI. No? Oh, I guess not. Okay. Well, we can always go back and change it later if we need to. That's all right. We can always copy over a different configuration later. I might have to read more about it off stream, and we can just tweak it real quick, or I can tweak it at a later date. No big deal. Okay, so that's fine. We'll go through and we'll just do the default logs for now with the installation and just go through with it, and I'll add more later. So we'll just do next, the username and password for the administrator account. Okay, so this is what we set up before. Great. And then the hostname or IP. So let's just make sure we grab the Splunk server IP address. Okay, 192.168.9.214. Okay, so 192.168.9.214. Great. And the indexer, that'll be the same thing, 192.168.9.214. Great. Cool. And it looks like everything's working properly, and hopefully we should be able to see logs on our Splunk server after from this one machine. Then we know how to get it working, and we can just make a quick Ansible playbook to deploy it automatically. So let's see. We should be able to pull up. We have Splunk pulled up from here, I believe. So let's see. I don't think we're going to have any logs yet. Yeah, because that's okay. Good. We shouldn't have any, so that's perfect. Okay, so we just be able to hit finish, and hopefully, in I don't know. Let's see if we can cause any logs to be generated. No events. Okay. So that's fine. Do we have real time? Yeah, real time 5-minute window. Great. Now, hopefully we should be seeing some logs coming here. Now, it's just based off of the Windows logs. So, like if we reboot the machine, for example, we should see it come up. We should see some logs come up. So let's do a restart, and hopefully that'll work. Now, while that's doing that, let's just take a look at the documentation of Splunk on how to set this up with command flags. So I think we'll have to specify the logon username and password. Oh, no, we don't need that. We do need a receiving indexer. We do need deployment server. This will be fine. We want to enable all of these, so we'll add all of those flags. Splunk username, Splunk password, we'll need all of those. So there's definitely a couple flags we need. Yeah, okay, it's got a bunch of them listed out here, so that's great. We can copy from one of those. Now, I'm wondering, are we going to see any logs coming up? Let's see. So let's log into here. All right. So let's see if the Splunk folder is running. So let's look for Splunk. Should see the universal folder on here. Hopefully. Might just be Windows is being a little slow to start up. So let's just check services. We should see the Splunk service in here. Let's see. Splunk folder service running. Great. So that is running just fine. Now, are we getting any information over to the Splunk server? We don't seem to be. I'm wondering if the firewall is stopping it. Well, there's only one way to find out. Let's go to the firewall settings and let's just disable the firewall for now. All right. That's fine. That's the easy way to test the firewall, right? We'll just turn it off. That's fine. Perfect. All right, now hopefully, let's see if that was the case. Let's see. Not seeing any data flowing yet. Okay. Interesting. Not sure what the deal is with that one. Okay, so we should have that running. We certainly are going to have event logs flowing, I'd imagine. Right, so let's just verify. We'll go to Event Viewer, and let's see. Let's open up our Windows logs, our security logs, and we should have stuff, from like now. Right? Yep, so just around this time. Yeah, we have all sorts of stuff going on. So these should be getting forwarded over. I'm not exactly sure why they wouldn't be. Sorry, you might hear my puppy whining or barking. He's a little crazy. I'm not sure what the deal is with that one. I wonder why it's not working. I wonder if we can view. Let's see. I wonder if we can use Splunk Server to view clients. Like if we can see what servers are sending logs to it. So let's take a look. Okay. Let's see. Splunk. Universal forwarder. Logs not hitting server. Let's take a look. If there's any quick checklist we could go through, see if we're missing something here. Yep. Okay, so that should be fine. Okay. Now let's see. If we go over to our Splunk server, let's check opt. Let's check the Splunk logs. You don't put the port when installed. Yeah, I think it should take the default port of 8089, so that should be fine. I don't think we'll have any issues with that. I don't think so. But let's see. If we go to var, I'll just sudo -i. Okay, so we should be here. Let's go into var log. Come on. Great. cd Splunk. And we should be able to see stuff in here. Splunk D standard error. Nope, that's fine. Let's check the audit log. Where are we looking for? Let's see. Splunk D.log, maybe? Let's check that one. Okay. So that seems to be fine. And we can see that there is definitely some traffic flowing. Interesting. What are we missing? Yeah, seems like the Windows server is communicating properly, but I'm wondering where the logs are. Interesting. Yeah, that's strange. Okay. So, what else could this be? Let's check the standard out.log. Let's see if that one's got anything interesting. Let's see. Nothing. Well, that's a shame. I'm wondering what's going on with that. So, we're not getting any data into the server. Now, what if we just run like a TCP dump on here? CC log into Windows Server. Okay, yeah, let's see if there's logs in the Windows Server for Splunk. So let's go over there. We put it on share. So let's log into here. Yeah, so I think we should have client logs on here too. That's a good point. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so let's see where it's installed to. Not here. Splunk Universal Forwarder, var, log, Splunk, and then we should have, where is it? Well, let's check the health. Interesting. Splunk's queues are full. So I'm wondering, are we running out of resources on the Splunk server? We shouldn't be. It should be fine. I can't imagine there'd be an issue with that. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, so are we missing something with this? So Splunk, yeah, so maybe we're missing something that's supposed to be listening on the Splunk server. So let's take a look. So let's check and see if we can figure out a solution to this error real quick. Let's make sure we have the actual correct IP address. So 192.168.9.214. Splunk 9214. Yeah, that should be fine. And let's see. Let's try to see listening ports and see if we can find if anything's actually listening on that port. Let's see. Interesting. So it doesn't seem like anything is listening on that port. Well, but Splunk has established a connection with share, so that should be fine. Very weird. Let's check that article again, see what they say. So definitely nothing to do with firewall. We have disabled all of our firewalls. The machines can certainly talk together. They have established TCP connections to each other. Let's see. Port exhaustion, nope. I don't think that should be an issue. It should be fine. I'd imagine this has enough resources. I mean, I give it 1 CPU core and 4 gigs of RAM, and I can't imagine it would take much more than that to run the base. I could be wrong. Yeah, they always say firewall issues. I don't think it's a firewall issue. Let's see. Let's see if we can reinstall Splunk. Maybe we messed something up with the installation process. So let's see if we can just uninstall it real quick. Do they have an uninstall script? Nothing that I'm seeing. What's this? Oh, didn't mean to run that. That's so strange. So I'm not sure if it's trying to connect with SSL and it's just not making that SSL connection, and that's why we're seeing this. Not exactly sure. See. Star always gives no results for you. Oh, maybe that's what it is. Maybe we're just doing a wrong search in Splunk. So let's see. Maybe that's what it is. It could just be that. What is the... So we'll just do Splunk show all logs. Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe it's just the star that's... Oh, try searching index equals star. Ah, okay. I gotcha. Nothing. That's a shame. That's definitely a good try. I don't know what the deal is with it. Very strange. Let's check back and share and see if we can see anything different in the logs. So let's see. So the machine actually refused it. So it's not liking port 997 or 9997. Interesting. So what is running on that port with Splunk? So let's see. Splunk port 9997. All right. Let's take a look at what it's actually used for, and that can help us troubleshoot why it's not working. Yeah, okay, for forwarders to the Splunk indexer. Interesting. Well, let's see. It doesn't seem like a server is listening on this port, so let's take a look at what is going on with this. So we need to go to Settings, Forwarding and Receiving, Configure Receiving. So let's see. Settings. Forwarding and Receiving. Oh, well, we don't have a receiver listening. That could be the problem. So let's add a new receiver. 9997. So I would have imagined it would have configured the default receiver automatically, but apparently not. So looks like that was our issue. Okay, so now let's see if we can see any logs flowing through. Let's see. So we do index equal to star. No events. Okay. Now let's see if we're getting the same error messages in the log. Let's see. So we were going to var, log, Splunk, and I think we're looking at Splunk D. Let's see. Looks like Has paused data flow forwarding to host. Okay, so it looks like it's forwarding. Seems like it's forwarding. What are we missing? See, let's try to refresh this log, see if we can see any different data. Might just take a minute to update. I'm not too sure how long it takes. Might just take a while to restart. Let's see if we can just manually restart this service. Okay, so hopefully if we restart the service, it will reach back out, try to initiate that TCP connection again, and then we'll be good. So, yeah, we'll see. But I think that's the problem. I think we just didn't have the actual receiver listening in. So, what are you gonna do? It happens sometimes, I guess. But I could have sworn it had at least one receiver by default, but apparently not. Yeah, still no events. But hopefully, let's just go back to forwarding and receiving. Make sure we still have one receiver listening. Yeah, so that should be fine. Okay. Interesting. It didn't restart the service. Let's see what the logs say. Try to oh, well, it stopped it, but it didn't start it again. I hope it starts. Let's see. Okay, so it seemed like that started. Great. So now let's check the Splunk logs again, and let's see what's going on. Okay. Connected to the server. Okay, so I think we should be good. I know I've said that before. I mean it this time, though. All right, so let's go to search, and let's see if we see anything. So the index equals star. There we go. Now we got Splunk logs. Perfect. So that's great. Thanks for the tip, James, as well. I'm glad we got that search figured out, and now we have the listener figured. So no worries. A little bit of trial and error, but now we can see we have all these logs pouring in from Windows Event Log, and we only have one machine forwarding logs here now, but we can just write a quick Ansible playbook, pretty much just changing a little bit of what we did before for Sysmon, and we should be able to deploy this Splunk Universal Forwarder to all of our machines. So let's take a look at how we would do that. This one should be easy to write. I say that, but we'll see. But because we've already done it with Sysmon. So let's just copy main.yml, and we'll just call this like Splunk forwarder.yml. And let's open that up. Great. So this should be fine. Now, same thing, we want to create our c/temp. Now, we want to download a different file. Instead of Sysmon, we want to do Splunk forwarder.msi. Yep, and that should be all good. Now we run a different command. Now we're going to be running, well, this is where it's going to get a little bit complicated. So now we need to do msi exec.exe/i c/temp/ what is it, Splunk forwarder.msi, and then there's a bunch of different flags we need to specify here that are documented here. Now we have our, let's see, we do want all of this stuff. Receiving indexer. Yep. So this should be fine. Receiving indexer. We're going to have to definitely modify this and add some things to it. But here is a good place to start. So there's a few other things we want to modify. So this server name is not correct. So we need 192.168.9.214. And then, yeah, Windows Event Security, Windows Event Syslog, agree to license. That's all looking good. We also need to specify the, what do they call it? Deployment server. right? So we'll do this. Cool. So let's add this flag in there. All right, and it's just going to be the same exact server, just a different port. So this is how we can deploy different Splunk applications to these clients as well. So what, 214, that should be good. Now we also want to enable more logs to be forwarded than just the ones that were specified in that small list. So we have win event security and system logs. Now we also want, let's see, where are they? App enabled. Yep, we want that one. So let's paste that in there. And we also want, we have security sys, we want forward. Great. And we'll take this as well. Basically, we want to forward all of the logs, which can definitely take up a lot of storage if you're running with like production machines or anything that's real, doing a lot of data. For our our purposes, doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter how long we keep logs for either. So that should be fine. I think that's everything we need to start out with. I know we're not forwarding the Sysmon stuff, but it should be fine. I'll figure out how to do that at a later time. I don't know how to actually add it in there, so I'll just figure that one out on my own. So we should just be able to do that, and I don't even think we need this service. We don't even think we need that. That should be fine. And now let's hope if we run this, let's vim our inventory file and uncomment out that server. And let's run this playbook. So we'll just do Ansible dash playbook dash I and our inventory file, and then we'll do Splunk forwarder .yml. And hopefully this will work. Let's see. I'll be very happy if it does. So, all right, so we know this, the temp directory should be good. Let's hope it downloads. Oh, it doesn't download Sysmon, it's Splunk. I'll have to fix that in the comments. Looks like that's all good. It downloaded fine. Yeah, that was a step I was worried about. Okay. I don't like that. That's a lot of red. Oh, I know what it is. We're also missing the, I'm sorry, we're missing, I'm at a loss for words. The Splunk credentials. That's what we're missing. So, okay. Now we want to change this from download Sysmon to download, just say Splunk forwarder. Great. And the Splunk credentials, where were they in here? This is not it. Splunk username. So we need Splunk username in here, or else it's not going to be happy. So we'll add that. Splunk username is equal to conda Splunk password is equal to conda 123 exclamation point. And let's try that one and see if that works. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. I'm not sure what the error message was before, honestly. I didn't read it because I instantly recognized something that was wrong. So we'll see what happens. Great, so the download works just fine. We know that. More errors. All right, let's take a look at what this is saying. Yep, non-standard error. Okay. Now, it doesn't give us a great error message. I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to go through and translate all these bytes. That's for sure. So, I guess we can try to run this manually and see what happens. But I would imagine this should be fine. What could it be? What could it be? Let's take a look at their examples again. So we have that. Are we missing some quotes somewhere? Do we have some quotes where we shouldn't have quotes? Quotes look good. We have this stuff. This all looks good. Is that definitively our Splunk server IP address? It is. It's all looking good. Let's just see. Do we have Evil WinRM up? No. So let's see if we can install Evil WinRM so we can copy and paste things easy. So sudo gem install Evil WinRM. Oh. Sudo apt install Ruby, I think is the package name. Maybe not. Yeah, there we go. So hopefully, once we are able to copy and paste things over, we can troubleshoot it more easily from the command line and get it working once on one machine, and then we'll automate it. I was going to go through and do the MSI installs the first time, but I figured I will try with the GUI. But now we know that all the Splunk connections are working. It should be fine. Hopefully. Let's see. What did it not like? That's a shame. Oh, we need Ruby dev. Okay, so we'll get those packages. Cool. Okay, Ruby dev, and then we should be able to gem install Evil WinRM, connect to our other machine, and get things cooking. Cool. So hopefully this one will work. Now, I just want to see how many events we're getting in Splunk while that's going. Let's just refresh this. Wow. So that one machine that's not doing anything has generated 1,682 events in the last 24 hours. Wow. So once we put Sysmon on here or get some extra applications like our MS SQL server or IIS server and stuff logging into here, that's why logging takes a lot of storage. There's going to be a lot of logs to sift through, but having them all in one place is going to make it so much easier when we go to do like some purple team exercises in this lab. All right, so we should be good here. Evil WinRM -I. Let's see. Let's just pick a host. Let's go to web. Actually, you know what? We can just grab it from our inventory. No. Oh, not downloads. We want to go to Ansible. There we go. And let's take a look at our inventory file. Cool. So now we can do an Evil WinRM -I, and let's just pick one of these servers. -u administrator, lowercase u actually, administrator -p, and we'll do condo 123. Oh, I think we need wrong quotes. There we go. Oh, okay. -p. There we go. That would be when, let's see, I've had to sift through hundreds of thousands of them whenever I do any investigation. Yeah, I hear ya. Windows event log is very messy. Definitely not the most ideal thing to work with, that's for sure. So let's see. Now let's cd into c/temp. Let's make sure we have we have Splunk forward to MSI. Let's run this, see what happens. Nothing. What? That's wild. Why nothing? I don't get it. All right. Here's a quick workaround. So we'll echo that command into here. Let's check what host name this is. I don't even know what machine it is. DC1. Cool. We're doing testing on our production domain controller. That is the only acceptable way to do testing around here. All right, so let's log into this DC. And now, let's take a look at our temp directory. We have this test file. Just open it with Notepad. We have our command here. I know it's a very convoluted way to copy commands over, but my copy and paste doesn't seem to be working. So let's try to just paste this in here. It doesn't like all these new lines. I'm not sure what happened. This looks all mangled. It's very strange. Receiving insert 192.168.9. That's a 9, not an 8. .214:9997 should be it. Yeah, I don't know. This like got all mangled. Okay. Well, let's see. This should be fine. I think we lost one of our flags, but it's not an important one, I don't think. All right. That seemed to work. Do we have the Splunk service on here? We do not seem to have the Splunk forwarder on here. What's the deal? What's the deal? Let's get the quiet flag out of here. Oh, it's all mangled, yeah. Splunk password. What happened? WinRM, why did you massacre this? We're missing the Splunk username. I feel like, do we need to specify flags in a different way? Let's see. No, it should be fine. That's just looking fine to me. Okay, we also need Splunk username is equal to conda. What does it not like? So let's first just try just doing MSI exec with this. Oh, we just spelled forwarder wrong. Was that wrong in the original? Me and my fat fingers. Or me and my can't move my fingers and misspell things. Yeah, so forwarder is spelled incorrectly. Well, that's just how I am, I guess. I don't know. There we go. Add an R in there. Let's see if that works. Cool. Come on, I'm expecting you all to help me with my typos. There we go. Hopefully it works. It's... Oh, it did work. Oh, no, it downloaded. All right. I got excited for nothing. No. Well, one of them might fail because it's already installed. So let's see. It's taking a long time, which I'm hoping is a good thing. I'm hoping it's actually going through the install. But I guess we shall see. Oh, it looks like they worked. I can't believe it. Oh, of course I can believe it. You know, Ansible Pro. No, that's awesome. So it looks like it's working. Now, if we see machines in here other than share, then we know it's working. We do. We got Web 1. We have DC 1. We've done it. We've done it. We set up Splunk. We deployed Sysmon with Ansible. We deployed the Splunk Universal Forwarder with Ansible. And I think that was pretty awesome. I think that was pretty good. That's definitely a lot done in one stream. Now, I do really want to get Sysmon forwarding with Splunk, but I'm going to have to do some reading about it, like I said. I don't want to just sit here and read docs for like 30 minutes and figure it out. So I'll do that on my own, and maybe we'll just come back to it next time. But now we have a central logging place where we can go and grab all of our logs from, at least right now, our standard Windows event logs. Now, again, we'll have to go through and add things like, you know, the IIS server or, you know, SQL server or things like that. We could also do it for Linux machines, but this is a great proof of concept of how to get it working. And deploying that Splunk Universal Forwarder with Ansible. Let's see, how long was this? 31 lines of YAML, if even. It's probably like 25. So super easy to use Ansible to do all this stuff. It makes it a lot faster and a lot more efficient. So I'd be happy to share these playbooks if any of you want to follow along and try to do this stuff on your own, like at home. So definitely just let me know, like on Discord or something. I can share them. I'm totally open to do that. So I think that is about it for today. I think I'm gonna wrap it up and go eat some dinner. I'm glad we got everything working. A little bit of havoc along the way, but I think it all worked out well. So thank you all for sticking around, and it was really great time.